So I think it's great because today I want to ask you, what are you seeking the Lord for in 2017? What are you seeking the Lord for in 2017? And I'm asking this as we see all of us standing up here asking for prayer for people that we care about, and even for ourselves. But what specifically are you seeking the Lord for in 2017? 2016 was a rough year. I mean, it's just talking about all these things happened last year. I mean, we were so bummed. Me and my brothers and my nephews, nieces, my kids, we went to go see Rogue One on after Christmas, and the next day, Princess Leia dies, right? So it's just like, oh man, just one more thing, and we have all of these terror attacks and just terrible things happening. Of course, the election just divided the nation. So it was a tough year. So what do you believe in? What are you seeking the Lord for in 2017? Because coming out of 2016, it was a tough time. I'm talking about this at this moment because this is what we call the season of Epiphany. Epiphany. In the Christian calendar, there's seasons. I don't know if you knew that. In the Christian calendar, there's seasons. And this is the season of Epiphany. And it started last Friday, January 6th. January 6th marked the beginning of the season of Epiphany in the Christian calendar. And it commemorates the... commemorates the three wise men, or the wise men who came and visit Jesus. If you didn't know this, that was the event that starts Epiphany. Three wise men. So let's talk a little bit about, let me tell you a little bit about Epiphany, because Epiphany, you know the meaning of the word Epiphany. Epiphany means insight, discovery, revelation. So this season of Epiphany, it is on our Christian calendar, it's this period of time where God is revealing himself. And so the different seasons of the Christian calendar start with Advent, the 4 Sundays before Christmas. Then Christmas is actually not just one day. Christmas is a season. Guess how many days Christmas is? 12. There you go, right? The 12 days of Christmas. So the Christmas starts on December 25th. The last day of Christmas is January 5th, and typically on the last day of Christmas, January 5th, is when you take down all the Christmas decorations, because that's the end of Christmas. It's a season. It makes sense, right? When you celebrate the birth of someone in your family, you don't just go, hey, congratulations, great, the new baby's here, no one else can visit, right? That's not what you do. You kind of open it up for a season. Let people come and see the baby. Same thing with Christmas. You celebrate the birth of Christ for a season. Then comes Epiphany, which marks the day that they visited, the wise men came and visited Jesus. So that was the season of Epiphany. It runs until the Transfiguration, then comes Lent, then comes Easter, and again, Easter is not just one day. Easter is 40 days, or 50 days, because then comes Pentecost, and then Pentecost lasts all the way to Advent. So these are the Christian calendar, the Christian seasons. So Epiphany is the season of God revealing himself to the world. And he's revealing himself. Oh, we're having some issues. Here we go. Epiphany is the season of God revealing to the world that Jesus Christ is his divine Son in human flesh. He's revealing himself to the world. And it commemorates the visit of the wise men to the baby Jesus. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at that passage of the wise men, because it shows us some ways of how to receive God's revelation. So would you take a look at that with me? It's found in Matthew chapter 2, verses 1 to 4. So it starts with Matthew chapter 2, verse 1. Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea during the reign of King Herod. Now you know about King Herod? King Herod the Great, he was a great king because he did all these wonderful building projects. In fact, he rebuilt the temple in Jerusalem. So all the Jewish people at the time, even though they were under Roman rule, they said, Herod is amazing. Herod is great because he's doing these wonderful things. He's rebuilt our temple. So he's kind of a great guy, a good guy. But about that time, some wise men, how many wise men? We don't know. It says some. Not 3, it says some. So we don't know how many wise men came, but their tradition says there were 3 guys. Their names are Gaspar, Belikar, and Melchior, or something like that. Balthazar, or some 3 names. And apparently these 3 guys, they came from eastern lands, and they're not sure where they came from, but tradition says they came from the continents of Europe, Asia, and Africa. So they came from the world. So these 3 guys came. How they came together, we don't know, since they came from distant parts. They came to Jerusalem asking, "Where is the newborn king of the Jews? We saw a star as it rose, and we have come to worship him." So here they come. You see the star of Bethlehem come up, and they go, "Let's go." So they gather from these different parts of the world. They come together, and they form a team, and they go here to see King Herod. Now, King Herod is the king. And these guys are saying, "We're coming for the newborn king of the Jews." Now, how do you think Herod felt about that? It's like, hey, you guys are saying, what, my replacement? So obviously, King Herod was deeply what? Disturbed when he heard this. As was everyone in Jerusalem, because they go, "What are you talking about? Another king? King Herod's been great. He's been building the temple. He's been doing all these great things." So Herod then calls a meeting of the leading priests and teachers of religious law and asks, "Where is the Messiah supposed to be born?" Now, I got a question for you. King Herod is the king over what? Judea, which is where the Jews live. Shouldn't he know what his people believe? But he's wondering, "I wonder what's this is all about. Where is this Messiah supposed to be?" He doesn't even know what God's supposed to do with his people. See, sometimes what happens with us is that we become so focused on what our life is today that we kind of forget how God is actually wanting to work in our lives and in the world around us. We become so focused on what we're doing and what we're building, what we're achieving, what things we're going, but we lose sight of what God wants to do, and because of that we don't pay attention to it. In the same way Herod was doing all these wonderful things, but yet he didn't realize or understand that God was doing this bigger thing, so he just didn't pay attention to it. He was the king over the Jewish people. He doesn't know when the Jewish people are supposed to receive a king. He doesn't know. He's not open to it. He's just focused on his own life, doing his own thing. Not mindful of what God's doing. So he asks, "Where is the Messiah supposed to be born?" And there's wise men, leading priests, and they all say, "We're having." Yeah, it's a bit strange. It might be the rain. They said, "In Bethlehem in Judea." Right? Bethlehem, you know that's where Jesus was born. In Bethlehem in Judea, they said, this is what the prophet wrote. "Oh, you, O Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are not least among the ruling cities of Judah, for a ruler will come from you, who will be the shepherd for my people Israel." So from Bethlehem will come this ruler. So then what does Herod do? What does he do? He goes, then Herod called for a private meeting with the wise men, and he learned from them the time when the star first appeared. Wait a minute. These 3 guys came from halfway around the world because they saw a star. King Herod can't see the star. King Herod doesn't know the prophecies of his own people. King Herod cannot see the star. But yet these guys can see the star. There's something about spiritual blindness that hits people. They can't see it because they're so focused on their lives and their work. They can't even see a bright star above Bethlehem. Can't see it. Don't know the prophecies. Don't care to know. So what does he say? Then Herod calls for a private meeting with the wise men, and he learned from them the time when the star first appeared. Then he told them, "Go to Bethlehem and search carefully for the child, and when you find him, come back and tell me so I can go and worship him too." You think that's the right response that Herod should have? Here it is, the new king is being born, and he doesn't know or expect the new king. He doesn't see the star, and he doesn't even make the effort to go and find him himself. He doesn't. He doesn't care. So he cares. While God is making this huge revelation to the world, the king over the Jewish people doesn't care. Isn't that amazing? I don't know how many of you have gone through this Christmas season, and you see everybody so wrapped up in all the wrappings and the gifts and everything going on of what they're going to get and everything, and they're not even mindful of what God is doing. They're not even looking for what God is doing. They're not even going to go and figure out and go and worship the King. They won't do that. Why? Because their minds are so much focused on themselves and the world. So the wise men decide. Wise men, after this, they interviewed the wise men. After this interview, the wise men, there we go. It's dropping. After this interview, the wise men went their way, and the star they had seen in the east guided them to Bethlehem. It went ahead of them and stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they were filled with joy. They entered the house and saw the child with his mother, Mary, and they bowed down and worshipped him. They opened their treasure chests and gave him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And when it was time to leave, they returned to their own country by another route, for God had warned them in a dream not to return to Herod. So we see that as soon as they walk out the door from Herod, guess what do they see? The star is still there. All Herod had to do, I think, was go outside and believe that God's doing something. He can see the star. We can't even see the star. It's still, but these guys go out and they still see the star. That's interesting. These guys, these wise men, they don't have the scriptures. They don't have all of that. They don't have any of it. They don't have the scriptures. They don't have the religious leaders around them, or they don't have a temple. They don't have, any tradition that says this is what's going to happen. They don't have a king encouraging. They're just looking. And then they see the star. And then it does something to their heart where they go, I got to go follow this. And so they start. They go on this journey. Hundreds of miles, maybe thousands of miles. They go on this journey. It takes a long time to get there. They never deviate. They stay focused on their goal. That star. They keep following it. They don't have much to start with. They have the star. And that urge within them that we got to go after this, and they go after it. They do not deviate. They don't get distracted. They don't turn aside. They don't give up. They keep going. And they get there. When they saw the star, they're filled with joy. They enter the house to see the baby. They worship him. And they bring gifts. How many gifts are there? 3. You see where they got the idea that there's 3 men? Because there's 3 different gifts. Now these gifts are amazing. When you give a gift of gold, you're giving it to a king. That's what it means. You're giving it to a king. When you give the gift of frankincense, you know what frankincense was used for? It was used in worship. So when they were giving the gift of frankincense, they were saying, we're giving this gift to God. So they knew that this baby Jesus was God, was a king, and was God, because they brought gold and frankincense. You know what the third thing is? Myrrh. You know what that's used for? It's used to anoint a dead body. So they knew this baby Jesus, king, is God, this human who's going to die. In that one moment, they recognized, they saw God's revelation of Jesus as God's Son in human flesh. Right there. That's why this is Epiphany. That's why this is Revelation. That's why this season is a season of revelation. It shows us what God is trying to do in the world. And I want to know. Don't you want to know what God wants to do in the world in 2017? What God wants to do in your life in 2017? That's what I want to know, because I don't want to miss the star. I don't want to be the guy standing, I don't see the star. What star? And everyone else goes, there it is. Can you see it? I don't want to be that guy. So they leave. God warned him not to go back to Herod. Herod then takes drastic action. He tells, when he knows that the wise men have not come back, he issues an edict. Kill all the baby boys 2 years old and younger in Bethlehem. He murders them. Thankfully, Joseph had already been warned by an angel. Get Jesus out of here. Okay, so if we take a look at some of the lessons that we learned from the wise men, the first thing is they just started. They got this sense that we got to go. And they went. They didn't know where they were going. They didn't have any resources. They just said, got to go. You want a revelation from the Lord this year? When you get that prompting to go, what do? Got to go. You just start. Next, they teamed up. The wise men did not journey alone. They partnered with like-minded people for wisdom and encouragement. They partnered together. They stuck together. And the same thing for you. Look for people that God's going to bring in your life who are going to walk alongside of you. In this congregation, you can find people who can do that. I love this young adult youth ministry. It's going to be an opportunity for the young adults to kind of gather like-minded and walk together. So team up. Third thing, be prepared. The wise men carried with them gold, frankincense, and myrrh. They prepared to worship the Lord. They were prepared to see the Lord. They were prepared. They expected to encounter God. When you go on your journey, you have to expect to encounter God. You can't just go, oh, I'll go out and maybe God will show up. No, you got to be ready. When God shows up, you got to be ready. The last thing, you follow the star. They kept following the star. They didn't give up. The wise men, they started their journey because they had that star, and then they continued to follow it because they saw the star. So they weren't distracted. They continued on, and they never deviated from following. So, based upon this, my question for you: what are you seeking the Lord to do in 2017? What are you seeking from the Lord? So, just as a season of Epiphany, what I've done is, and I do this every year pretty much because I love this time of year, is I go back to the Lord and I go, okay, Lord, show me what you want to do. What is it that you want to do, especially for the church? What do you want to do? And so to begin, I always go back with, what is my guiding star? What is the Star of Bethlehem for this church? And the Star of Bethlehem for this church, if you remember, is... No, I'm curious. Becca, is your network still on? So, our vision is... what?
Was it Gather Go?
No.
Okay.
There you go! So, this is our guiding star, right? This is what we see as a church. Right? Communities of people set free by the Holy Spirit. So this is why we have to kind of go back to this every few months, right? Because this is the guiding star for us. So this is for me. I have to kind of go back and go, oh yeah, what does the Lord want us to see? He showed us that there's communities of people who be set free by the Holy Spirit. Then came our mission. Now, you may not know this one as tightly because I only covered it very briefly. Abel? I'll give it to you. So, this is the mission. And it basically is what is the work that you're going to do? And it is... There you go. Grow disciples and you will grow the church. Okay? So that's the mission. So the vision is communities of people set free by Spirit. The mission is grow disciples and grow the church. And as I go through my Epiphany period, I'm thinking of, how can we do this? How can we best do this? What is the way for us to grow disciples? And I come back to, people, especially coming out of 2017, there's such a disastrous time where there's so much conflict and everything like that. What people need is hope. And when they need hope, one of the things we need to do is give them hope in Jesus. And so I think of how do we return to making sure we're growing disciples in growing church. Then our strategy, now you know it. Strategy. This is what we do, right? We kind of gather together, then we go someplace, we go and bless people, and we expect that there will be growth out of that. So we've been doing some of that, and I expect us to do more. I expect that, I'm thinking, we've done like 3 outreaches the past year. We'll probably do 4 this year. So I'm working on that. So these are ways that I help, I kind of think through evaluate what's going on. So, vision for 2017, I don't know if you read my blog this past week. If you had a chance to read it, you'll see that I used 3 words: love, hope, and light, because it was based upon my evaluation, my period of epiphany, thinking about the church. And so I thought about love. I said, to counter the negative forces from last year and to strengthen our communities for the work ahead, we will need to be more compassionate, more welcoming, more diverse. That's what we need to do. Just be more open to the people around us in the neighborhood. Right? Just love more. That's what I think is the first step. The second step is hope. To support and encourage the real people who will do the real work, we will need to help them remove those things that are dragging them down, restore their faith and hope in a better tomorrow, and offer guidance as they move forward. And then we believe that the best footsteps to follow are Jesus' footsteps. So we want to encourage people to follow Jesus. The last thing is light. To be a source of peace and unity for our communities, we will need to be visible, safe, and accessible. Yeah, I was thinking, we have these wonderful things. We want to love the people. We want to give them hope. And yet people don't even know about us. We meet here and we're kind of hidden. Well, not really hidden. We come inside and people don't. We have a couple banners. So I was thinking we need to be more visible. We need to take a more public position. Be out there. So I started I went back to Facebook, and now I'm going to be posting my blogs on Facebook. It's just a start to encourage me to kind of get out there, be more visible. I'm thinking about new signage and some new things that we could do to give ourselves a little bit more, take advantage of the people that we have walking by. But also more than that, I think we have to prepare our insides. We've been talking about helping build the children's ministry, make it stronger. We need more volunteers to help watch the kids, and so we can care for them. So when families come, they know that, hey, your kids will be taken care of, your kids will be watched over. We can do that. So if you're looking to volunteer here at the church, by all means, think about volunteering with the children's ministry. Talk to Uget, and that's one other way for us to look at it. So when I look ahead, love, hope, and light, those are the things that I'm looking for at Free, because during the season of Epiphany, I've been going back and rethinking, well, who are we? What are we called to do? What's our strategy? And what are the things that we can do better? And this is where we are. And this is where I believe for our church going forward. So my question for you is, what are you seeking from the Lord in 2017? So, we're going to do an exercise today. And if I think Pauline's going to let Uget come back in so she can be part of this exercise. But we're going to do an exercise. And David and Mark Jr., I'm going to need your help. So one of you's going to have to do pens, and the other one's going to have to do papers.
One page each?
Yeah, just one page each. So we'll give you some time, and then, Tess, can you get the light? There's more. There's underneath the package. Underneath in the box, there's more. Thank you, Joey. Underneath in the box. Yeah, in the bag. You can carry the bag around, David. If you need a pen, let David know. So, don't do anything yet, and I know it's hard not to. Once you see, so many of us are brought up that we see a paper, we have to start writing. So, I want to help you. I'm going to take you through this so you know what we're doing. Thank you. So I think that's a young one for you guys. Okay, so what we're doing is, this is a season of Epiphany. It's not for you to step back and see where the Lord might want to work in your life. You want people help? Yeah. You want to know where people, here, let's give one to Amy. So this is the season of Epiphany. I want to help you see where God wants to work in your life. And so, since it is the season of revelation, it always starts, like I did with this church, you kind of go back to what is your guiding light? Where are you at? What are the principles? What are the things that are most important to you? And you do an evaluation. So this is a way for you to do an evaluation. You'll notice that this circle is divided into 8 categories, 8 areas of life. Now the first one is career or work, and if you're a student, it could be school. Okay? If you're a student, it could be school. Next one is money, and it could be anything about money. Health is the next one. Family and friends and your relationships with them. Your primary relationship, if you're married, of course, that's your spouse. If you're dating, maybe it's your boyfriend or significant other. If you're son or daughter, it might be a parent. It might be a brother or sister. So your significant, your primary relationship. Personal growth, how you're feeling about your own personal growth. Fun and recreation, this is one that I love. And your physical environment, and that could be your physical environment in your home, it could be your physical environment in your office, it could be your physical environment in your kitchen. I don't know. It's wherever you're feeling like that's where you spend most of your time, and that's what is influencing your physical environment. So, what I want you to do is, with this model, then what we assume is that the center of the circle is value 0. Okay?
You want to write 0?
No, you don't have to write 0. That's the value 0. And at the outer edge is the value of 10. 0 is nothing. 10 is awesome. Okay? So what I want you to do then is think about an area of life. For instance, let's think about career or work. So what you do is you say, okay, well, how happy am I with this area of my life? How happy am I? So how happy am I with the area of career or work? And if I'm at like a 10, I'm going to draw a line like right out at the edge. I'm a 10. See that? So you think about where's my career? Is it like more of a 10 or is it more of a 0? And then you draw a line that corresponds to how do you evaluate. 10 meaning awesome, 0 meaning terrible. Then you go around in each segment. You go from money, health, family and friends, primary relationships, personal growth, fun and recreation, and physical environment, and you do this all across every segment. And what you end up with is a compass of your life.
So we just have to draw lines depending on...
Pardon?
So we just have to draw lines.
Yeah.
And write down a number.
Don't need to write down a number unless you want to, but you can draw a line. So you think about where you are. So that's the first step. You take a look, you spend some time, you evaluate it. Now you'll notice that the next step is after you draw a segment, then what you do is you select, just for today, select 3 segments, or if you only have time for 1, that's fine too. But you select at least 3 segments and you write down what would it take for me to improve my evaluation of this area of my life. Be specific. So for instance, if you're at let's say you're at a 3 on money, and you go, what would it take for me to improve my evaluation of this? You go, I'll write down money, and then I'll say, I need to get a raise, right? And that will help me in my evaluation. Got it? Okay, so you do that for 3 of them. And the last step is the most important step, and that is over the next 2 weeks, ask the Lord, here's what I'm feeling, God. Now you tell me where you want to work in my life. Okay, so this becomes a matter of prayer. So, one question that comes up is, Pastor Kevin, how come there's no spiritual segment? How come there's no segment called spiritual? And the reason? Because the whole thing is spiritual. Your whole life should be spiritual. Every aspect of your life should come under the authority and control and obedience of Christ. So everything needs to be spiritual. And I've learned this, that as you open up what God wants to do for you in one area of your life, you know what happens? He starts touching and blessing your whole life. So this is an entry point. This is the start of Epiphany for you. So I'm going to give you about some more time, about maybe around 12:30. We'll kind of wrap it up. If you have questions, ask me. Yes.
What's physical again?
Physical environment is like the rooms that you work in, the house that you live in. Your
So
physical.
does that mean that everything intact and you're spiritually?
Probably you're seeing that God is just like all over you. If you see everything at zero, it probably means you need God. Okay, so if you need help, just raise your hand or just shout out a question.
It's like, like for example, your office, that's your physical, your home, It's personal, personal growth. Is that like, it could be personal growth as in education, personal growth as in anything.
Anything that you're feeling like, are you feeling like you're growing?
Hey, Mark Jr., how you doing with money over there? Doing all right. Can I borrow $5?
So like you have a certain amount of money. Are you feeling good about it? Are you feeling like you need more? Are you feeling like you don't know how to manage it? How happy
Based
are
on
you?
our current state, right?
Yes, based on today. Because this is what Epiphany is for. What does God want to do in your life this year? Copy.
Yeah, how's your career going? Career?
Well, it's also school, Gabby. I know.
Everybody's working. Good. No questions?
I like my lunch.
Yes.
So it's fun and recreation.
Yeah. Are we having fun yet?
Well, it's just fun. So what do you consider fun for life?
That's up to you. What's fun
So-
for me, man?
Right. So for me, I mean, considering I think most of my friends think my life is boring. Well, that's not my
But you're having a great time.
But I'm having a good time.
You're so proud. It's your life, right?
I know.
This is what God wants to do in your life.
Yeah.
Take as many as you want. I think so. I think it's good. Okay. So, remember, this is not. There's no right answer here. This is a door for you to be able to put yourself before the Lord and to spend time every day that you pray and say, Lord, this is how I feel about my life. This is what I want to see, but what do you want to do? What do you want to do in my life? And whatever the Lord shows you what you want to do, what He wants to do in your life, what the Lord wants to do in your life, you know what we call that? Your Star of Bethlehem. That's your guiding star. Because that's what God wants to do. You'll be working on, you got these worries, yeah? But what God wants to do is what's going to be amazing. And through that, what God does, I believe the rest of the things that you have concerns about, He will take care of as well. This is why it's so important. This is why this is a season of epiphany for you. I believe that. That's how I'm walking this season. January 6th to February 28th, I expect that God's going to speak in our lives. So, what are you seeking the Lord to do in 2017? Use this process and find what God wants to do in your life. Okay? Got it?